Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're drilling down into a specific question, and it's one you might be asking yourself. Where is the absolute best place to grow and, really flourish a modern business?
Exactly.
Our source material today is pointing, and pretty decisively, toward Indianapolis. It's a city that seems to be rapidly redefining itself as a premier choice for expansion.
That's right. And our mission today is to move past that sort of superficial reputation Indianapolis might have. We're going to synthesize the hard data.
The real numbers.
Yeah, the logistics, the economic foundation, the talent structures, and even the real estate market. All the things major corporations and agile startups are actually using to guide their decisions.
The sources suggest it's not just a geographical crossroads of America anymore. It's more of a strategic crossroads where efficiency, innovation, and economic resilience are all sort of converging. So if you're looking to minimize risk and maximize your reach, this deep dive should give you a really comprehensive, fast-paced analysis.
We're going to focus on the mechanisms of competitive advantage. We'll look at how a central location actually translates into lower costs and how, collaborative government and educational systems create sustainable long-term growth.
Right.
The initial aha moment for me, really, was the sheer strategic advantage the city gets from its geography. But it's supported by infrastructure that is just engineered for flow.
Okay, let's start there then, because in the world of supply chains, flow is everything. What makes this location a superior competitive advantage? I mean, in terms of getting products and services where they need to go efficiently.
It really starts with an indisputable mathematical reality: centralization.
Okay.
When we analyze where goods need to move across the U.S. consumer base, Indianapolis just stands out. Nearly 60% of the entire U.S. population is reachable within a single day's drive.
60% in one day. That number is staggering, and it speaks directly to reduced fulfillment times, happier customers?
It does.
But how is that speed physically achieved? Is it just the mileage, or is there something about the quality of the transportation grid?
It's the quality and the density of the grid.
Yeah.
Indianapolis is this hub for crucial, and non-congested interstates. You've got I-65, I-69, I-70, and I-74.
So direct, high-speed conduits.
Exactly. This network connects the city directly to every major industrial and consumer market in the Midwest, the South, and the East Coast. Think direct links to Louisville, Chicago, Columbus, St. Louis.
And crucially, the sources mention the connection to the ports of Indiana. That's big. That ties the city not just to domestic commerce, but international routes, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the optimization doesn't stop on the ground. The Indianapolis International Airport, it consistently ranks as a top North American cargo hub.
Right.
And it's frequently noted for its efficiency, for minimal freight delays. This is critical for high-value or time-sensitive shipments.
So you combine the two.
When you combine top-tier air freight handling with a unified highway system, you get a logistical superiority that, frankly, major competitor cities just lose to gridlock and higher labor costs.
What's fascinating here is how that unified system translates directly into tangible business savings. Everyone talks about infrastructure, but what's the measurable impact for someone listening who's thinking about expanding their business?
The measurable impact is a significant reduction in last-mile costs. That's the bottom line.
Okay.
Because you can rely on that rapid ground shipping to hit that 60% population mark. Businesses can bypass expensive multimodal or air freight options that hubs like Chicago or Atlanta often require.
So for a lot of companies.
For many logistics-intensive companies, this can translate into a measurable 8 to 12% reduction in total fulfillment and last-mile costs. This isn't just convenience. It's baked-in profit margin.
That makes the logistical math undeniable. But of course, a business can't thrive on goods flow alone. It needs capital stability, affordability. So if the physical location is superior, how does the financial and economic environment stack up?
It creates a stable financial location. The city has intentionally built a highly diversified and robust economic base.
To ensure resilience.
Exactly. It doesn't rely on a single sector that can crash. We see strength across advanced manufacturing, life sciences, healthcare, tech, finance, and of course, logistics. That portfolio mitigates systemic risk.
In a word, stability. But if they're strong in all these sectors, that often means high demand and high prices, right? How does Indianapolis manage to have all this strength while also being affordable?
That's the key differentiator.
Right.
While the sectors are robust, The affordability metrics are what truly separate Indianapolis from, say, major coastal or even legacy Midwest markets.
So like real estate.
Commercial real estate, yeah. Whether you need industrial facilities, distribution centers, Class A office space, it's all competitively priced. This lets companies divert capital from overhead into growth areas like R&D.
So instead of just sinking cash into exorbitant rent, that money goes back into the business itself. That's a massive advantage, especially if utilities and labor are also lower.
Precisely. And that cost structure benefits the employees directly, which is vital for attracting and retaining talent.
Right.
The overall cost of living in Indianapolis is approximately 10.4% below the national average.
Let's just pause on that. 10.4%. That isn't just a number. That's a measurable increase in disposable income for every single employee you hire.
Absolutely. Think of it as a permanent, non-taxable bonus the city provides just by being affordable. For a business, this lower cost of living means a sustainable operating environment.
So your employees can have a good lifestyle, afford housing, feel rewarded.
Without the company needing to match the unsustainable salary inflation you see in places like Boston or Seattle or the Bay Area.
Okay, so we have a strong foundation of goods flow and money flow. The final piece of the puzzle, then, must be people. Does the city structure actually support developing and retaining talent? Or do companies just have to rely on that cost of living benefit? What's the supportive ecosystem like?
The city is uniquely focused on what I'd call active facilitation.
Active facilitation.
It means removing the typical structural barriers to growth. This supportive framework is what really helps businesses scale quickly. We see this in the competitive tax incentives, the grant programs, and crucially, the streamlined permitting process. They prioritize speed.
And it seems that support isn't just a reserve for corporate giants. The sources highlight some really robust mechanisms for startups and small businesses, too.
That's the depth of the commitment. You have entities like the Vibrant Chamber of Commerce, but also specific technical support systems. For instance, the Indiana Small Business Development Center, the ISBDC.
And what do?
They provide no-cost advising. And this isn't just basic guidance. This can cover crucial areas like legal structure, financial modeling, market entry strategy, often subsidized by federal or state funds.
That kind of institutional support dramatically de-risks those really early stages of expansion. And then you have programs like the Community Collaboration Fund. What is the role of these public-private partnerships?
Well, those partnerships, like the Collaboration Fund, exist to pool resources and de-risk capital for projects that benefit the whole community. Whether that's shared infrastructure or specific training programs, it shows the business climate isn't just about profit.
It's about building a sustainable community.
Right, which is highly attractive to modern, mission-driven companies.
But the real key to long-term growth, as we've said, is access to talent. How does this supportive ecosystem translate into a consistent, future-proof workforce?
It's highly intentional. The strength of the talent pool is a direct result of institutional collaboration. You have powerhouse institutions like IUPUI.
Which is that combination of Purdue and Indiana University.
A crucial synergy, yes. It combines Purdue's renowned engineering and tech strength with Indiana University's life sciences, nursing, and informatics expertise. It's a perfect match for the local economy.
So it's not just one type of graduate, it's a tailored, dual-track workforce being generated right there?
Exactly. And you have these anchor institutions, along with Butler, Marian University, the University of Indianapolis. They all ensure the talent produced directly aligns with the region's most sophisticated needs.
So specialized engineering, life sciences research.
Cybersecurity, advanced business analytics. The gap between the classroom and a career is minimal.
And the sources emphasize that the industries themselves are actively creating those pathways. We see examples like Eli Lilly, Roche, Cummins, Salesforce, all with direct recruiting pipelines, co-ops, sponsored research labs.
It's an immediate path from classroom to a tested, ready workforce.
And there are programs that formalize that.
To formalize that connection, initiatives like Ascend Indiana and Work and Learn Indiana function as these sophisticated matching systems. They don't just connect students to jobs, they connect employers with vetted interns and apprentices.
Ah, vetted. So they have specific skills.
Sufficient skill sets, yes, ensuring a high conversion rate to full-time hires. The whole system is designed to minimize the risk and cost of recruiting, which is a major pain point for companies everywhere.
That integration is brilliant. Now, let's pivot and see how this synergistic system, logistics, affordability, talent, is showing up in two specific growth sectors the sources mentioned, tech and retail. Where is the momentum most visible?
The technology sector has absolutely exploded. It's
Oh.
established Indianapolis as a critical IT hub in the Midwest, and it's diverse, covering everything from software development and cybersecurity to health tech and machine learning.
And the source has heavily emphasized the role of marketing technology, or MarTech, in this boom. Hold on, for anyone listening who isn't in that specific lane, what exactly is MarTech?
Sure. MarTech refers to the platforms and tools that companies use to analyze and execute marketing campaigns, and it often relies on complex data science and automation.
Okay, got it.
And Salesforce Marketing Cloud has its global headquarters here, which acts as a massive anchor. It solidifies Indianapolis as a central hub for that sophisticated field.
And beyond the anchor companies, the development landscape is literally mapped out, right? With 23 certified tech parks and the 16 Tech Innovation District. What does a district like 16 Tech offer that a standard office park doesn't?
The 16 Tech Innovation District is designed as a collaborative, live workplace ecosystem. It's a magnet for R&D talent. It's not just square footage. It integrates lab space, manufacturing prototypes, residential units, communal areas, all to foster that organic collision and innovation between startups and established firms.
It's the physical manifestation of that supportive ecosystem we were just talking about.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so moving to retail, the sources describe a pretty robust consumer base supporting this growth.
Yes. The metro population is over 2.1 million. It's supported by a low, like 3% unemployment rate and steadily rising disposable incomes, thanks in part to that lower cost of living. It's a ready-made market with financial capacity.
And the city seems to be deliberately focusing on experiential retail, which is a smart strategy to, future-proof against e-commerce.
Precisely. You see this in innovative food halls like the Garage and Bottle Works and the revitalization of areas like Massachusetts Avenue with its eclectic independent shops. The goal is to make shopping a lively social destination.
So you're maintaining the resilience of physical retail.
Even as online commerce expands. Yes.
All of this growth, tech, or retail, it requires physical space. So that brings us to our final strategic piece, real estate agility. You called this the new currency of growth. Why is flexibility so important right now?
Flexibility is paramount because business expansion is never linear. It just isn't. Companies need to be able to test a market, scale quickly, or even contract without a massive capital outlay or being stuck in a long-term lease.
And Indianapolis has optimized for that.
They've optimized this low-risk entry strategy.
So we're talking about options like the flexible workspaces like Brand Nook that the sources mention.
Exactly. Think of it like renting an operating system rather than buying a mainframe. These solutions allow a company to secure furnished office space, private suites, even just a block of cubicles with move-in timelines measured in days, not months.
That's the ideal low-risk bridge.
It is for project-based teams, seasonal staffing, or just testing the market before you commit to a multi-year headquarters lease.
That ability to validate demand without a heavy financial commitment is invaluable. Here's where it gets really interesting, though. The sources suggest the city has optimized the entire path, from zero presence to full-scale operations.
It's an end-to-end flexible system. Once a company validates demand using these agile spaces, then experienced brokerages like Allies Commercial Realty step in to guide that transition.
To the long-term lease.
They help secure the long-term leases that align with the company's strategic goals, ensuring the scaling process is seamless and risk-managed. This integrated flexibility lets companies scale at their own comfortable pace without unnecessary financial exposure.
This entire deep dive has painted a really clear picture. Indianapolis offers this rare and powerful balance of opportunity, backed by its logistics and diverse sectors and practicality, driven by affordability and a uniquely supportive, collaborative ecosystem.
That's the ultimate takeaway. It's the convergence of that central location, the stable economy, an exceptional, highly aligned talent pipeline, and that real estate flexibility that defines its edge.
It all works together.
The whole system is engineered to convert expansion plans into measurable, profitable results, whether you're scouting a new retail corridor or planning a corporate relocation.
It truly is all about optimizing flow, the flow of goods, the flow of money, and the flow of talent. So if the competitive advantage of a city is measured by how quickly and affordably you can move those three things, which of these three flow dynamics do you think is currently the most difficult for the rest of the country to replicate without massive new investment?
That is a fundamental question for any business to consider when looking at strategic expansion.
Thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive. We hope this exploration into Indianapolis's strategic advantages gives you a clear vision of how vital coordinated infrastructure and collaborative ecosystems are to sustained business growth.